And here we are back with another nighttime episode. We still got the light. We still are going strong. I kind of like recording podcasts at night because I have a whole day behind me of, my crazy thoughts, my mind running wild. And I have had more time to kind of just think about what's happened throughout the day. So it's kind of nice. I like recording at nighttime. I like recording after I've actually done things. A lot of the time I record in the morning, and in the morning I haven't done shit yet today. So I just like doing this because I just got a workout in. I just made some food. I had a flight earlier today, so I go through things and it makes me think a little bit more. Today's topic, we're talking about when to hold and stick to your guns, when to hold your own versus when to mesh to what people are doing or what people are saying. So the easy answer whenever a lot of people talk about this is always stick to your guns. But that's not good advice, in my opinion. I don't think you should always stick to your ways and your way is always perfect, my way or the highway. I don't think that is good because you don't know everything. So if we're talking about in life versus in a shoot, then there's two different answers to it. And they're not straight up distinct answers, but we will dive into both. So let's talk about in life first, because if you're here, you have more things than just your creative career. You have more things than work. I hope so, at least. You shouldn't just work all the time. So whenever you are in life, you're just going through life and you can't help but to form some opinions of your own. And that's great. That's how people discover what they enjoy. That's how people make changes in the world because they think something's different and they think something needs to be changed. It's how some of the best businesses have been made and how some of the best companies and best products have been made. But whenever you were talking about having an opinion, I don't think that you should always stick to what you know right now. You should always hear the other side of the argument. You shouldn't get so set in your ways that you think that everybody else is wrong and you're the only right answer. Because at the end of the day, you're probably not correct most of the time. You thinking that you know absolutely everything is probably false, and you can always expand. One tip that I have for you, if you're someone that is always my way or the highway, I would say try listening to other perspectives and not taking that perspective as your own, because you're not going to do that, but maybe taking one little thing from that and taking it in and adding that to your arsenal. So it might not give you a whole new argument. It might be a sensitive topic. It might be a stupid topic. It might just be a random conversation that you're having with somebody. But whenever you take little bits and pieces of different things that people say and then you make it your own, everybody takes little things from everybody and then they shape their own argument. You might find one person who you really agree with, and that's sweet. Good for you. But I don't think that's a good thing. For example, I don't just listen to one podcast. I don't just watch one YouTube channel. I don't just use one streaming service. I use multiple because you can get different things on different ones. For podcasts, I have my comedy podcast. I have my informative podcast. I have my motivational podcast. I have my business podcast. There's a bunch of different ones that talk about different topics that I enjoy, and I'm not always in the mood for one of them. I'm not always in the mood for the same one every single time I go to listen. For example, last week I was on a big business podcast kick. So I was listening to a lot of business interviews, a lot of people that I like, a lot of entrepreneurs. But this week I've been on more of a comedy kick. So I'm listening to Andrew Schulz, Flagrant 2, which is hilarious. You should check it out. I listen to Joe Rogan. He has some comedians on, and some different ones. Andrew Santino. These are some of my favorite comedians, and I take something from them. They don't only joke around and talk about stupid things the entire time. Don't get me wrong, there's some episodes that it is just dumb the entire time, but there's a time and place for that. It is amazing. If you're into kind of stupid comedy or little bits, check out the Andrew Santino and Rick Glassman podcast. They are so funny. So both on Andrew Santino's podcast and Rick Glassman's, they have different episodes, but they just go on these crazy tangents, and I don't know, I like it. There's a time and place. I'm not going to sit here and listen to it every day, but it is so funny. I highly recommend it. But back to what we were talking about, if you should stick to your guns or mesh to people's opinions. So whenever you're with somebody who maybe you haven't met before, whenever you're with somebody who you're trying to make a good first impression with, I think there's nothing wrong with kind of meshing to what they say. Now, I'm not saying completely fold on every single thing you believe, because I think that some of my friends who I look at and I idolize, they stick to who they are no matter who they're around. And that is a really hard thing to do, and you kind of notice that throughout the years that it's not easy to be the same exact person around absolutely everybody. But I don't think there's anything wrong with actually not giving your opinion every single time. Now, whenever I say mesh to what they're saying, I'm not necessarily saying that you should agree with what they're saying. I'm saying that you don't have to give your 2 cents. You don't have to give your opinion on every single topic that comes up. Somebody new that you're meeting, let them do their thing and just don't cause any problems. A lot of the time, whenever problems get started, it's because somebody's ego comes into play. It's because somebody can't let go of what they believe, can't let go of their thoughts and their feelings, and they just need to win. That is the biggest flaw in so many people, is they let their ego get in the way. Whenever you have an ego, it stops you from making new relationships. It stops you from meeting new people. It stops you from trying new things. If you just stick to what you know right now, your life will probably suck in 10 years because you never tried expanding your thoughts. You never tried learning something new. You never heard a new opinion. You never tried a new workout. Nothing. And you're going to get bored. You're going to hate your life. And it'll probably be because you never actually had these genuine conversations where you were open-minded. Your mind is not going to be changed about whatever the topic is tomorrow. But maybe you hear something today and you take that one little bit and then you're good. You take that and you take it into your next conversation. Maybe you drop that a little bit. And you learn more over time and you find these little bits that you like. You find these little things that resonate with you. Whenever you find yourself not wanting to try something new, you should step back and think about it. You should step back and analyze, what's going on? Why do I think that I'm better than this? Why do I think that I'm above this? Why do I think that I shouldn't try this? And if it's because it's uncomfortable, then probably consider trying it. If it's because it's outside of your comfort zone, it's going to be better in the end. Now, obviously, this doesn't apply to like doing drugs and stuff like that, but it comes to maybe trying a new workout. It comes to maybe trying something that one of your friends said that you'd be good at. I was listening to a podcast today, and this comedian was talking about the first time he went up on stage. He went up on stage because his comedian friends thought he was hysterical and told him that he should do it. It was Brendan Schaub on Bussin' with the Boys. And it was really interesting to hear him dive into it because that's not an easy thing for anyone to do. You can be funny with your friends, but you're not going to necessarily be funny on stage. And that wasn't in his comfort zone. It wasn't easy for him to go and try something new. He was a UFC fighter before. But it's those things where you shape yourself a little bit and you get better over time. If I listened to people's opinions and meshed with them every single time I talked to them, I would not be where I am right now. For example, me dropping out. If I was having conversations with people and they told me what they thought, which most of the time was that I shouldn't drop out, well, I would be in a totally different scenario and I would be graduating pretty soon. But here I am, and I am much more successful than anybody thought I could be. So don't always listen to what people are saying. You got to pick and choose, just like I was saying before. So now going into the more photography end of it, whenever you're on a shoot with a client, it's different. You have to mesh to them much more than you would probably like to. Now, I had a scenario where I was on a shoot in Florida and I had a shot list to follow. I had a 2-day shoot and it was from sunrise to sunset both days. And whenever I was looking at the shot list, I was thinking, and I ran it past a couple other people, that maybe there could be some things tweaked just timing wise that would make the day more efficient, make it better. And I kind of shied away from doing that because the shot list is there for a reason. If a client gives you a list of what they want, just do it. Now, if it's maybe shaping the shot in a way that you think looks better and that they'll be happier with, then by all means do that. But if they give you a shot list and they give you examples of what they want, that's what they want. That's probably gotten approved by other people as well. A lot of the time, you aren't necessarily there to capture a totally new vision. You're there to capture what they have in their mind. There are the occasional times where you'll get lucky and you'll find that client that's like, hey, do your thing. Here's this much money. Just like run wild. We love your work. Do that. Now that is the best kind of client. And I mean, it's really nice, but also that comes with some stress. That comes with, oh, maybe I'll give them the product that I think is really good and they won't like it. But you don't have to be worried about that. So whenever you're on a shoot with a client and they're maybe giving you their opinion and you don't think it's great, you have to hold your guns sometimes. So if you're lining up an interview and you think that the lighting and composition is beautiful and they give their 2 cents, sometimes override them because you know what you're doing. You're the one that they hired for a reason, but do it respectfully. Just be like, well, I did it this way because, in the past I tried that way and it just didn't turn out. It looks great to the eye, but maybe sometimes it doesn't look the same to camera. Now, I know I'm contradicting myself with what I said in my last podcast, but it's just an easy way to do what you actually want to do and what you think will look best in that scenario. So most of the time, you're going to be the one that has the best idea. But also, you can take their ideas and maybe they'll mention something you're like, oh, dang, that was actually a really good call. Maybe I should try that. There are times where you need to pick and choose what you want and times where you need to pick and choose what they want. But I would say most of the time, whenever it comes to business, you need to form more to them because that's the client. They're the one paying you to do what they want. That's the beauty of putting out your own content, is because you are the boss and you are the creator. Beautiful. You're the client and you are the service. So whenever you're doing this, you just need to be respectful about it. Respect will always win. You can change the shot list a little bit, but always run it past the client. You can maybe ignore what they're saying, but always let them know why. Always make the client feel involved, especially whenever you are not taking their opinion, whenever you're doing something against what they believed was the best idea. You can always shape it respectfully so that they sit there and they're like, well, he took my opinion and now he's doing this, but he's the professional, so let him do that. That is how I've found going about it is the best. As a lot of people have said in the past, the client is always right. I know that gets annoying, but it's the truth. They're the ones that are paying you to be there, so you got to listen to them to a certain point. Obviously, you're not always going to listen to them, but most of the time, you got to make them happy. If they're not happy, then they won't recommend you, and then they probably won't come back for more work. So an easy solution to that is give them what they want, give them what they asked for. So if you have an opinion, by all means, share your opinion if you think it is necessary. But in both personal and business, be respectful. Be respectful of other people's opinions and also be respectful of other people's time. Don't waste people's time. Don't waste people's energy. And then you probably won't attract people that will do those two things to you. That's my advice. Take it or leave it. I appreciate you guys listening, and I'll see you in the next episode. I do this every Tuesday and Thursday. I hope you've been enjoying it. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to get some traction on this. A couple of them have gotten some views, but if you have any tips for me, let me know. If you think I could do anything better, let me know. And like I just said, I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.